Everything's
All right,
recording?
boys, let's do this.
Boom. Hey, today.
Dino, you making a deal right now? Are you closing a deal?
Closed the deal.
Mindset.
Sorry. Look at
Boom,
that,
mindset.
dude.
That's good.
Deal mindset.
Hey,
Sorry.
we thank you guys so much driving in from Sacramento to be on this podcast with us. I guess we're making the big time now.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, we've arrived.
We've arrived.
This is it. We've
Yeah.
reached the pinnacle. I think we'll retire after this. This is it.
That's it. So it's super exciting. We're going to talk about mindset. We've got two great mindset guys here today. Rene Jacques, who wrote a book about the athlete's advantage on mindset.
bestseller.
Bestseller.
Yeah.
Bestseller.
Among real estate agents and loan officers in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And we've got Dino Rosetti.
You almost forgot your
Wait,
coach's
what's
name.
his name?
Wait, who's that guy? You look vaguely familiar.
I love that guy. I wanted to say something cheeky, but I didn't.
Well,
Good call.
either way, thank you.
Yeah, it's good to have you, man.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
So, Dino's full-time business coach, does deal with some mindset stuff here and there, and this year, especially in 2023. So, first question, Rene, just on your book, Athlete's Advantage, what inspired you to write the book?
Actually, it's a great question because the person who inspired me to put a book out was Dino Rosetti.
Oh, yeah.
So Dino
Dang.
was my coach before becoming one of our partners. He absolutely changed what I did in business. It was one of our coaching calls. He thought it was the next step. My first reaction to him saying he thinks I should write a book is, I don't even like to read. What do you mean you write a book? But with that being said, I did a lot of self-help stuff. And if it was going to be a book, it was going to be about two things that I'm passionate about. And my sports background is what built my core.
Yeah.
And business is what I've dove into. So I really took a deep dive and turned it into a research project about finding way more successful ex-athletes than I am, picking their brain and then telling my story. Cool. And it's been amazing, man. It's what I would have wanted to hear growing up in sport, of how I was being prepared for everything that I was going to see in business.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, we want people to buy the book, but could you give us a few nuggets?
Well, the journey is awesome. But let's just think about it. Let's put it in the simplest terms. Even if you weren't an athlete, the things that I'm highlighting my athletic journey, but when you're growing up and you're dealing with failure, dealing with being a teammate, dealing with good teammates, bad teammates, being coachable, studying your competition, dealing with success, working in silence behind the scenes, the things that I had to learn to be a great leader. Those are all things that I was dealing with the different personalities on there. You can't tell me that isn't what I derive almost everything that I do off of. I was learning back then. I'm just putting that concept in elaborating my story. And then I had 4 incredible people that were on the book as well. An outstanding real estate agent out in the Boise area. She's an ex-volleyball player, went to Boise State, stayed there, and even through the crash, I think she closed 130 transactions this year.
Dang.
Wow.
We had the owner of the Kings. I call him Uncle Phil Oates. He was on there as well. Chris Johnson was a basketball player. He hit it big and got 2 Sharks on Shark Tank straight out of college. And he's signed deals with Marvel and for his products that are in Walmarts all over the place, as well as I got the Super Bowl winning linebacker, Jonathan Vilma. He was he signed with the Jets, but won the Super Bowl with the New Orleans Saints.
Dang.
And I was able to have great conversations with them. That was the fun part for me.
That's so fun.
So it's telling their story in it. Again, trying to, not just my story, bringing all those stories together. That was part of the process.
Amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's like a lot of times it's easy to have great mindset when the sky's blue and there's cumulus little clouds and all this. But it hasn't been that way this last year for a lot of real estate agents. We've seen about half of our peers exit the industry. And so it's been a little bit difficult. And so what are you coaching people towards, both of you guys, to stay in a positive mindset, to not go to dark places and to stay in the industry?
It's it's a conversation that you have to face it. So I would say, I'd spend most of my day talking to realtors and lenders, and I would agree with you that 2023 cut a lot of people off at the knees, and because you can have somebody that has been in real estate for 10 years, and this was like the first time they saw a price reduction sign on a listing, or that they had to talk to a seller about why their
Yeah.
home isn't selling, or a loan officer had to, meet with a client on a Tuesday to qualify him for a certain price and a rate, and then Friday it all changed because the rates went up again,
Right.
record amount of time in 2023 how rates have, increased. So it all boils down to the message I share with my clients is when you start focusing on things that are out of your control, I think that leads you down a slippery slope. And it's hard to understand or kind of focus. Like, it's hard to stay in the lane of what you can control when there's so much, the perception is so much out of your control. So the way I personally reel myself in when it's stressful, and the way I advise my clients is, if you can figure out if you have clarity on what your ideal day looks like, then you have a better chance of getting there. So many people don't have clarity on what it looks like. And I'm talking specific details. Like, is your car clean? Is your closet clean? Is your desk clean? What clothes are you wearing? Is your day planned out the day before? Like, all these things sound basic, but I'm just a believer that if you can just do the basics, especially when you're stressed out, you set yourself up for more and more stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's why the Army says, when you wake up, make your bed. That way you've done something. Like,
Totally.
make your bed. So, a good set of basic habits is huge for mindset, but then also I'm a big believer in a morning routine, a very regular morning routine. It's different for everybody, but whatever can level your mind and help you really focus on what you're building, what it looks like, and then inch by inch, man, inch by inch.
Good.
Some years it happens easily or effortlessly, or you get lucky. Some years you feel like, oh my God, everything I worked for is gone. Like, what happened? And I think you just got to realize that there are ebbs and flows in the business, and everything is temporary in the big picture. So, but having a good, solid morning routine and doing the basics, I think it's a couple big pieces.
How do you, Dino, Rene, either of you guys? I've had this experience, and loads of people probably have, where I know that a morning routine and these sorts of things put me in a better mindset. Yes. I've experienced it. I know it, and I don't do it. And so there's how do you connect? Do you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired? Like, how do you coach people to say, that this is good for you? You know that you're better when you do these things, and you're not doing them. So how do you help people close the gap?
I know for me, it's getting people around you. Accountability partners has been big. And, my journey, again, just speaking on kind of my journey through it all, I've claimed to be mentally strong for a long time. This has tested it in every way, shape, or form over the last 24 months, right?
You have a lot of people, under you that you're
for sure.
trying
For
to...
sure. We've sacrificed to the fullest to make sure we've kept everybody on. And, my number one job is to continue to do whatever it takes to keep my mind right, to walk in those doors every single day, keep the energy high. I think our morale and culture has been stronger than it ever was in the middle of an absolute storm, right? So for me, I know that was what I had to dive into to give myself the best chance of getting to the other side of this. So going back to your question specifically, the more times that I bring it up to people around the office, the more I stay accountable for it. So I do think it takes a village. You want to surround yourself with people that make you better. And we all go through life talking about what we're striving for and things that are important to us. But if we don't execute on them, are they really that important?
Yeah.
To have people that kind of call you out on that. So you can't lie to yourself. It's been a big step. So I think it's the people around the village that I'm around really helps with that.
So good. Talk to me about the person that right now has gotten hit across the head with a 2x4. It's not so much here, but really right here.
Well played,
Tommy boy. That is that's struggling. That is like, man, I can't get myself out of this funk. I can't I can't not eat the sugar. I can't not, get out of bed, and I'm struggling, and I just getting out of the door for me is the victory. But they know there's more on the other side and they just can't. They're like, there's something stopping me right now. And I think there's a lot of people there. It's like, what's the conversation you have to have with yourself to break through?
I think there's two different answers to
go
this.
ahead.
I'll do mine.
I'll weigh in.
Let's refer back to the basketball stuff, right?
Yep.
In this book, and this is a lot of what I continue to draw from, and has given me a lot of motivation going forward. Every time I had some sort of major injury, I looked at it as the universe is telling me to work on something different now, or I broke my foot, so I started just working on free throws or whatever I could. I broke my hand, I started working on the left hand. What has this crazy market been really telling us to do next? What part of our business has it told us to focus on, and are we still struggling with wallowing in what's going on and how bad it is, to not realize that it's the hugest opportunity to get better, to set ourselves up for the future? So for me, I've had great success this year talking with my real estate agents and my circle of influence and everything, just picking apart what's going on in life and trying to find what it's really telling us to do. What is God telling us to do next and work on? So that's referring it back to my book portion of things, and I'd love to hear your answer, Dino.
Yeah. What I thought of was, so there's two things. A long time ago, I started doing yoga, and the guy who was leading the yoga class, his name's John James, and at the end of yoga, the way he did his practice was we'd go through the session, and then at the end he would share a lesson. I don't know where he got all his lessons, but we were in this class once, and he sat up and he said, "Today, I'm going to tell you that even when you lose in life, you win. When you win, you win, and when you lose, you win." And everybody's sitting there, and I just happened to be like right in the front middle, and I didn't think anybody heard me, but I looked at him and said, "Well, how's that?" And he said, "How's that?" Like super loud.
Yeah.
And he said, too many times people are used to not analyzing a loss. And he said, that's a shame. That's how you really lose. If you can look at a situation in life where it didn't turn out like you wanted, or it's a loss, and you learn from it, then you win. So even when you lose, you win. So when you win, you win. And when you lose, you win. So you're always winning. And I was like, whoa, how many years have gone by in my life where I've missed opportunities to learn? I mean, the obvious, some I could think of where, I did learn. Don't, touch a hot stove or whatever. You learn that. But I'm talking way deeper than that. Very much similar to what Rene said. So I think having that kind of attitude, not wanting to purposely lose, however, knowing that when you lose, okay, I can choose to be paralyzed by it and blame him, blame her, blame the economy, blame the rates, blame my comp plan. I can point the blame, but I think that's how cowards do it. I think where winning is done is where, when you're kind of beat down, can you keep moving forward? Can you keep moving forward? That is where, like I said, inch by inch, or sometimes you're sprinting. That's how you can keep winning. And so when it feels heavy, when it feels like you can't, like the secret that I've pulled from is the why. Like, why in the world? Like, so your why has to be more motivating than whatever the pain is or whatever the pressure is. And so, is your why your family? Is your why your spouse? Is it the kiddos? Is it, when the why is bigger than focusing on you, like there's a thing that I learned in church, that when a depressed person takes the attention off themselves and they put the attention on other people, they become undepressed. So like when you're a depressed person, the best thing you can do is go volunteer at a food shelter or a homeless shelter, because all of a sudden you're not focused on yourself.
Yeah.
And I think you free up whatever that is to maybe now be creative and think of a way through. So when you're stuck, I think it's just because you're constantly looking at yourself without, and how do you translate that when you're talking to somebody? God, I don't know. It's just like, hopefully whatever you're sharing, they're receiving.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, how can somebody else motivate a person?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so the default to just look inside when you lick your wounds, blame, all that kind of thing. I think it goes back to what you guys were saying about who you surround yourself with.
100%.
Because if I see other people pulling themselves up and looking outside and volunteering and doing those things, I'm much more likely to do it and not, just lick my wounds and stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, even so Travis and I, right, we were in the same office and we work well together. And I think so many people have disappeared. Like not like there's core people that are always in the office working.
Sure.
But so many people have disappeared. But there's one guy, this guy named Chris, who's in there every day doing the same routine, day in, day out.
yeah, so
and
consistent.
it's like so consistent with a big smile on his face. And the things that I know what the guy's overcome is insane. But I think it's going to like, hey, I've got a big why.
Well, think about what you just said. And I don't know this person, but you said the things he's overcome is insane. I'm just imagining maybe there's some personal stuff happen. So for him, coming in every day with a good attitude to a nice office with a nice chair and a nice desk to make calls that people he doesn't know, some are nice, some are nasty. That's way better than whatever the thing was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's comes from a good family and stuff, but he has just paved a way through a real estate industry that's tough. And I think this is his best year ever.
Well, it's whenever we talk about mindset, I always I have a little bit of a rash because I tend to think, is this just a fake it till you make it kind of a thing? And it's like on some level, I don't think you're trying to manipulate yourself, but I do think what I started to do this last year, which was insanely helpful for me, is when you wake up and you're just like, oh crap, it's going to be hard again. Instead of doing that, saying like, okay, I'm going to go to the office and I'm going to have a meeting with my buddies. And then we're going to go record a podcast. And then I'm going to talk to these clients who are amazing and have great conversations and kind of just like reframing the day. And then at the end of the day saying like, there are people around the world who would kill for a day like I'm going to have,
Yeah.
And it's like, and it doesn't mean that you're trying to fake away the hard stuff or diminish the hard. It's like, yeah, it's hard and I get to do this kind of thing, right? So
great way to think about it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. We said, you heard me say it yesterday. I'll always point back to 2023 as kind of the year that I really found myself. Did a lot more with meditation and everything like that and brain training.
Yeah.
What do we choose to concentrate on? Is it to concentrate and say, oh, today's going to suck? I mean, yes, today will suck when you wake up thinking that.
Amazing how that works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it sounds super simple, but at the same time, I've changed what the workouts look like because I want an hour where I'm by myself and I just get to, half the time I'm got a YouTube with some motivational thing screaming at me. I'm choosing to fill my brain up with things that are positive. And the fact that we are where we are as a company and made it through this crazy time when everybody else is just dropping left and right, it's a testament to what we're feeding ourselves. So just feeding ourselves some different things and drawing from different strengths is great.
That's great.
Dino, I know we got to get you guys out of here. I've got 4 questions for you guys. So, but you can... You're chewing on something.
I have one thought.
Do it.
I think mindset. The topic of mindset. Oftentimes, people overlook the physical aspect of mindset. Meaning, I think you said a word, feeding yourself. Like I think how you treat your physical body goes directly associated with your mindset. So to me, that means the better you eat, the better you sleep, the better and more consistently you exercise. That is a direct relationship with mindset for sure. Totally. Because if all we are is a filter, we're our air and the food, everything, we're just filtering stuff. Imagine your filter being gunky and stuff. So it might sound weird, but I think mindset has a lot to do with how you nourish your body. That's for sure. And that's what I was looking at when we were trying to start here. I've been tracking my sleep because Rene and I, we're doing this tracking thing together where in 2024, we're going to literally track every hour of the day of what we're doing.
Dang.
Sleeping, exercising at the company, doing meetings and stuff like that, because we want to see where we're spending our time, because how else can we be efficient if we don't know where we're spending our time? So in this little journey, I've realized my sleep sucks. Like I am a very light sleeper, and my REM sleep is super. I get hardly any REM, but so that's why I looked at it and I was excited, because last night on the road in a coastal town was the best night. Apparently, best night sleep I ever had.
It was that pasta you ate.
Great Parmesan.
Man. So
All right.
Anyway,
that's awesome.
Sorry.
Good.
No, that's
Quick
really
segue.
good.
I love the filter.
All right, boys. We ask everyone on the podcast 4 questions. We'll go rapid response here. We haven't prepped you for these, but they're easy. Okay. First question: what is your favorite book, movie, or TV show?
Never Split the Difference for book is my go-to.
Perfect.
I absolutely love that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say Think and Grow Rich is my go-to book. Thoughts Are Things, Chapter 1, Travis.
Okay.
Thoughts Are Things.
I love it. I
It's
love
such
it.
a good book.
Okay. Question number 2.
Raiders of the Lost Ark would be my favorite movie.
Oh,
Or
movie?
the Sandlot.
Oh, the
Dude,
Sandlot.
the thing-
Classic.
there was
oh my
a-
gosh.
There was an Indiana Jones that came out this year.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
Really?
Did you like it?
So good. My wife and I were.
I didn't even know that.
I know the last
yeah.
one was so bad. This anyway. You guys should watch it.
Yeah, redeemed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 2: who is the most influential person in your life?
That is a tough one. Go ahead, Dino.
I'm gonna say my buddy Brendan Donaldson from Nashville. He owns a branch of a mortgage company, a bunch of rentals. Beyond that, the reason I mentioned him is because his heart is just like this guy here. Just a genuine human being, a giver, very generous, very creative. But he's a huge inspiration to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say my business partner on laundromats. I'm not sure you guys know of on like 5 locations of laundromats. He Dominic Ibarra. He taught me how to do loans way back when I was a kid right out of college. Then we ended up going into business together, and he's that person that you turn to with anything, good, bad,
great, dude.
ugly. He's just always going to give it to me straight.
Wow.
And so I need that. So
That's awesome.
Cool.
Okay, question number 3. This we're gonna have to tweak it a little bit, because the question is: describe your ideal day on the Central Coast.
Oh,
You guys are
wow.
visiting, so maybe describe your ideal day back home.
Well,
You can do the
Ideal
Central
day on the
Coast.
Central Coast.
You can do that. Either one. Dealer's choice.
we put our feet in the ocean this morning. by
Heck
the way.
yeah.
We did.
Good job.
Be a
Oh,
nice,
grounding.
Nice way to
Yeah.
start.
grounding started it off.
GB.
Okay. Inside joke. We'll pass on that one.
That's awesome.
Golden Bay. Golden Bay.
My mornings are it. So, wake up, meditate, workout, red light. If I could start my day off like that, that's what I want. And see the first light, see the sun come up. So I want to start there. As for the rest of the day, as long as I start the day like that, my perfect day in general is going to just be littered with anything else with the family and a lot more creative time. That's what I miss in what we do a lot. We're so reactive. We're so on the go all the time. So being able to sit down and really be a little more creative, watch kids what they're doing and enjoy it, because I don't get as much of that. So perfect morning and family stuff later.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of similar. Perfect morning is I have a really cool morning routine that I'm just in love with. Get up early, do the meditation, pray, journal, and I have a little bunch of tracks I listen to for affirmations and visualization. I like that a lot. And then I'll usually eat a little breakfast and then get ready, head to the office. An ideal day is filled with client calls, and then I'd purposely like the last couple hours of the day to be like no calls, because I like to do the creative stuff then. Thinking about different things or working on fun projects, and then I end my day with exercising. I like to, so I'll get to, I have a little membership at a local place where I can swim or cycle, so I'll do that, and then I'm usually home by early evening, and then it's hangout time. So I'm an empty nester. It's my first year as being an empty nester.
Wow.
So it took a minute to get used to, but I'm finding I really like it. I really like it. So it's hangout time. Like my wife and I. So it is it's turning into my ideal day too. It's like I'm changing as I get a little older, but the quality time where we're sitting next to each other, TV's on. Like she's on an iPad, I'm looking at a phone, and we're just there. We might not even talk for like a half hour straight, but we're just together. That's kind of cool.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
And then the day wraps up.
That's awesome.
It.
Final question. What is the best way for people to get in touch with you guys?
I think I do a lot of different things on social media, meaning it's if my Instagram is CEO_Jacques, JACQUES. And, we have our own podcast. It's been fun up in Northern California. We talk about all kind of business stuff. And I have 3 amazing kids that are in the older 2 are on a journey to hopefully play college baseball and softball.
Nice.
So it's a nice landing place to get to kind of all things Rene Jacques. So
that's awesome.
All right. Dino?
The Ultimate Business Partners would be the best way. The website, the Ultimate Business Partners. It gets you all the phone numbers and all the social media and everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Renee,
Guys,
Dino,
thanks for
you
being
guys
on.
are amazing. Thanks so
Appreciate
much.
it. Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
thank you.